Alright, so I'm working on a new project. It's right behind me. It's a solar powered trail cam setup. So my family has some property, or my wife's family has property up in Vermont, about 100 acres, and I've been putting in cameras around the house, kind of just to keep an eye on things. But I started seeing some foxes and possums, and I suspect if I get a little bit further away from the house, I want to kind of track the deer movement. So I put up they're wise cams, by the way. I put up their battery powered one with it's a little solar cell that you can tack on to the USB-C, and it's pretty much self-contained. It's not the best because I think I think the power saving features of it kind of don't let it pick up as well as as the wired ones. So I have this kind of elaborate plan. It's a quick intermission. I was just editing and I realized that I was talking for a few minutes on something that would just make more sense to draw a diagram for. So let me go ahead and show you what I... Okay, so this is the plan, kind of. So down here I've got the house, and the house is kind of like this long lake style old farmhouse. And we have this first shed called the wood shed, and then there's this second shed, which is like where the tenants are. And then we have this third one with a flat roof called the tractor shed, and then after that there's like another building that was tacked on that's pretty much the shop. And over here there's just this little building that used to be a milk shed, and that's actually where the Starlink is mounted to get it kind of far away from any like sort of obstructions. So if you look at the Starlink, it's connected with a wire back to the shop, and I think the main internet is like in between these two buildings. So that's like where the primary router point is, and then we have it repeating here in the wood shed to get into like the main house, and then over here there's like one in the dining room, which isn't important. So what I did is I ran a wire. Actually, there's wires between this one, the main one, and the main one, and the woodshed. So those are hardwired. So what I did last time I was there is I ran a wire from the main one, and I added a Wi-Fi point at the window of the shop. And then this is all tree line, and then up here is the upper field, and down here is like the lower field. So what I did is there's like a little path between the two fields, and I added that first wise cam, the battery operated one, the solar panel, and that's like 250 feet probably. But like I said, I'm not like super thrilled with the performance on it, because I've definitely seen tracks out there that it didn't pick up. So like I'll go in, I'll see tracks, but there's nothing in the recordings. So what I want to do is I want to run 250 foot power pretty much as far as I can get without having a ton of voltage drop, and also still being like within the Wi-Fi point. So I'm going to run 250 foot extension cord. I'm going to have a Wi-Fi point, and I'm going to have a camera. And then that will be it for hardwired from the house. And then from there, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go 250 feet, because that's the limit of my Wi-Fi. And then another 250 feet from there is going to be the battery. So I'll have my battery and my solar panel set up here, and I'll have a Wi-Fi point, and I'll have a camera, just because why not? And then from there, I'll come back down 250 feet, have a battery, or have a Wi-Fi point and a camera. And then in between these 250 foot runs, I'll have cameras. Actually, probably, maybe I'll put one right here too. So I'll just split it up, because I might as well, or we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I can. So 250 is kind of like my limit on like Wi-Fi signal. So 250. So the battery is actually like 750 feet away from the house, at least in my thought process here. So 750, this will bring me back to 500. This is 250 feet away from this one. So that's kind of why that the battery is 500 feet away from the last hardwired point. And then anyway, so up here, then I'll go 250 feet from the battery up further out. And I think that's like, hold on, 250, 500. So that's like 1,000 feet away. Actually, I probably don't even need that last Wi-Fi point there, because I'm not going to repeat again. So this can probably get deleted, but I'll have a camera there. So that's the drawing. That's the plan. I figured I'd come back and redo this, because what I was trying to explain in words was just hard to follow without the picture or the imaging to go behind it. So, all right, anyway, back to the video. Anyway, so I'm going to try to run 250 foot extension cord off the shop, run a Wi-Fi point, run a wise cam, and then this is where this comes in. Yeah, go ahead and turn you guys around. Okay, so I'm building here is an enclosure for some batteries. If you saw my earlier videos, these are my batteries I'm using with the winch. These aren't the batteries that are going to go in there. These are overkill. I'll probably find something cheaper that doesn't have the same high amp output that these do. But what I'm doing here is I got this old window and I got these cut like at an angle, and then this is gonna be, I'm gonna flip this over. I haven't screwed it together yet, but these two top pieces are pressure treated. This is just some old 2x4 wood that was out laying on the ground, so it's seen better days, but it will do the job for this. I'll flip this over, screw this all together, flip this over, screw this into there, go get another piece of plywood, run it along the back, put a floor on it, and then I got a bunch of this leftover insulation from when I was doing my trailer. It's probably like 2 inches. You can actually see it here. So I'm gonna take the leftover, but I've been trying to get rid of anyway, and I'm gonna insulate the sides and the back and the bottom, put the batteries in, put the inverter in, put the, I got like a DC like cigarette lighter plug because I can run the cameras and the Wi-Fi off DC or AC. So, and then I'm gonna go set this up in my backyard just to do a dry run, because we're in Massachusetts, the house is up in Vermont, so I don't know when I'll get up there next, but I don't want to get there and realize that, you know, I'm missing some small but significant piece or something. You know, just it's harder to get things out there, so I'd rather do a dry run here. But so then anyway, so my plan is, so I just said I want to go off the shop hardwired about 250 feet, and then there's a field up there. But regardless, so my plan is to actually set this another 500 feet out, come off of this down 250 feet closer to the house, put a Wi-Fi point there, then at this put a Wi-Fi point, and then run another 250 feet up, and then drop another Wi-Fi point. I know this might be a little bit confusing, so I guess I'll draw a diagram and I can share that. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of grab some footage of this while I was putting this together, and then I'll come back to it when I finally get this rigged up and share with you where we're at. All right. So here's where I'm at so far. I'm not quite done. This is night 2. I still gotta do a little bit more, but I got my pieces kind of fitted up so you can see what it's gonna look like. I just took this back out. I had this flat before, and then I was like, oh, that's going to collect water, so I put an angle on it. So I just barely did that. And my boards weren't quite tall enough, so I got to cut a piece. I'm going to just sister it in here to finish that off. And then, let's see. I left this piece at the bottom purposely a little short because I wanted it to try to run off, so that ended up, that's why I got the screws in here, and I guess there'll be a little bit of ventilation coming up in here. I mean, it's gonna leak, but that's fine. So yeah, I'll cut a piece in here to sister something to that. I need to cut a piece to go up here, and then obviously that's tall, but that's what I'm working with. The constraint here is actually I want to be able to fit it in my truck with the tonneau cover down, because when I go up there, I don't want to have to disassemble it. I kind of want it to be all assembled and ready to go, and we usually carry a bunch of stuff in the truck with us, so I don't really want to strap it up above the tonneau cover or deal with that. So I wanted it to be like 21 inches depth wise, and actually I just cut these extra risers here. I had a little bit left over from the pressure treated, so actually you can kind of see here. So I'll put those on when we get there, but that'll contribute to the height, so I left them off for now. So yeah, I think that's probably it for tonight, but like I said, I gotta sister these pieces in, cut a piece for the top, and then I'm probably gonna paint it black both inside and outside to try to get a little bit of solar heat gain to keep it warm in the winter. So yeah, I'll check back in as I get a little bit more progress here. All right, I ended up just staying out here for another 45 minutes, half hour, and just finishing it. That way I'm ready for paint tomorrow. But as you can see, I pretty much got it all pieced together. I got those pieces sistered in, and I was talking about, I got my little roof right here for the runoff, and yeah, it's pretty much ready for paint. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll be able to take it outside. It's pretty cold, but in the sun, I think it'll be fine. So I'll spray it a few times and see where what it looks like. All right. So it's the next day. I've been painting it all day. I've been coming out here, giving it a coat of paint. So I actually did 4 coats and then 4 coats of paint and then 2 coats. Actually, no, I did 4 more coats of clear. So it should be pretty durable. So let me actually show you what it looks like because I think it's pretty good. Okay, so here it is. I don't know if you can tell, but I went with a brown. I was gonna paint it black because I wanted it to, you know, really suck up the heat. But I'm like, it's gonna look kind of ugly if I paint it black. So I did the inside black. But the outside is this brown, and I think it looks pretty decent. Actually, you can probably see it better from this, more light on it. But and I forget, I put that angle on the back. I can't remember if I had that in the last update. But yeah, so this is like I said, 4 coats of this. I think this is satin, and then 4 more coats or 2 cans of clear. I think that was matte. Or sorry, the paint. I think the paint is matte, and the clear is supposed to be matte. I mean, it doesn't look very matte, but that's fine. Don't know what it would have looked like if I went with gloss. I probably even shinier. So, but I think this is fine. And I think, I mean, it feels real smooth. So I think hopefully this will repel the water because I don't really want to put shingles on it. I got some like left over, but I assume just leave it like this. But maybe, I don't know. So my next step is I want to hook the electronics up and then actually set it out and let it run for a few days or maybe a week, and then just to monitor how the actually, let me turn this around again. Yeah, so I just want to hook it up and I want to monitor it while it's, you know, 100 yards away as opposed to 150 miles away. So I want to monitor the electronics. But the other thing I want to do is, the reason that I built the case is I want to know temperature wise. So I got one of those Wi-Fi temperature sensors, the Govy, I guess. I don't know if they're special, but I think they're kind of like a somewhat no-name brand, but you can find them on Amazon. I'm gonna put one of those in there, and I have one in my trailer, and I've used them other places, but I want to see how warm it gets in the cabin with the glass, with the sun radiating on it. So I'm hoping that, you know, if it's 20 degrees, you know, out, maybe it's like 35, 40 in there. I have no clue actually, so that's why I want to do this test. But my hope is that I can keep those batteries kind of warm, you know, because it gets pretty cold in Vermont, you know. There's a lot of single-digit days, or not a lot, but probably double-digit, or there's probably at least 10 days, if not more, where it's a single digit, and there might even be a couple where it's negative. These batteries really don't like it. I think if it's below 32, I think they have shutoffs and stuff like that. And my thought process on that is actually if when they have shutoffs for charging and shutoffs for discharging. I think charging is more strict. It needs to be above 32. I think discharging, it's more flexible, like you can be down to 0. But my thought there is that during the day, it's going to be sunny and it's going to be collecting, during the day when the solar panels are active, it's going to be more warm just by the fact that the sun is out. So that discharge, that strictness on the discharge needing to be 32, I think it's more likely that I'll actually be able to charge it because it's going to be warmer. And then the discharging and that flexibility, it should be fine. So overnight, if it's 0, you know, the camera should still work and the Wi-Fi point should still work. And then in the day, it's going to be warmer and it's going to be generating electricity, but therefore, hopefully, it'll be warm enough in the cabin. So, yeah, so that's it for today. I don't know if I'll do the electrical tomorrow. If anything, I'll set it out and I'll start recording some temperature on it. That'd be interesting. So, I think it's slightly warmer here this week than it's been. It's like going to be in the mid-30s, might hit 40. So, I don't know if we're going to have any more days in the teens or the single digits here. So, it'd be good if I can get some data on that. But anyway, so I'll check back in as I get further progress on this. All right, so here I am the next day. So you can see I got my thermometer in there. That one's going to read as bedroom. I stole that from my bedroom for now. And I'm going to put this up. So I want to try to avoid it getting any direct sunlight to throw off. And let's go ahead and put this on. Oops, spin it. All right, so there we go. So I think we're all set. I got my block in place, and then over here under my carport, I have another I have another temperature sensor, which is going to be called trailer. So we'll have outdoor ambient, and then we'll have indoor ambient. You can see it hanging right there on that beam. So yeah, I'll check back in a few hours, and I'll show you what we're looking at. All right, so I just came out here after about an hour. Well, it's actually probably closer to almost 2 hours, but it's about 10 a.m. here. And I set it up there at like 8:15. I set the thermometers. And again, trailer thermometer is the outside ambient, and bedroom thermometer is the inside. So at 9, so it took a while for it to come down anyway. So before 9 o'clock isn't as relevant. But just looking at 9:05, it's 40 degrees in the box, and it's 35 degrees outside. And then the other thing that's notable is where it's kind of flat there in the beginning. The sun didn't really hit that part of the yard because it was still kind of coming up over the tree line. So I could kind of watch it actually as the sun was like making it across my backyard to it finally hit it. So you can see where it starts to hit it and go up. So let's go to like this peak. I'm just curious. So yeah, like at 9:40, it's 37 outside and 49 in the box. So that's pretty good. I think that's, I mean, it's granted it's not that cold yet, but I'm seeing that's like not quite a 13 degree difference, 12 degree difference. And then let's come to now. So like 10:02. So yeah, about a 12 degree difference, I would say. Let me come actually to this little valley here. So there we are, 36, 47, so like 11 degrees. So pretty good. It's not super sunny out today, actually. It's kind of cloudy. And again, I have that thermometer behind that shade. So in reality, the batteries are gonna have that direct contact with the sun. I don't remember what that's called. So I just want to kind of get an idea of what the cabin measurement is, or the air temperature is inside. And then anything on top of that is going to be a bonus. And the batteries are black, so they're going to heat up even more. So I think this will be pretty decent. So I'll check in again in a few hours, and we'll see how we're doing. And I'll probably even keep this going for a few days, because I got to look at the calendar, and I got to see the weather report and see what the temperature is going to be. Because like I said, I'd really like to see how it performs in, the teens and the single digits if we have another day like that coming up. So if it seems like something that might be soon, maybe I'll wait to post this video until I get that data. If not, I can always post about it later. All right, I just had to run out here. Where I am up in Rockport, there's just a ton of wind up here, and it's one of those days where it's windy. It's like 30 miles per hour probably. The gusts maybe higher, I don't know. But I'm like, this is like a sail. So I was hearing it, and I was like, all right, let me get out there and go strap that down, because I think that's going to get blown off. I was thinking it before, and then I don't know, I didn't do it. So I just took some old wire I had from something else, and I just put a screw in both sides and just tied it down like that. And it's not going anywhere now. But yeah, so I think that'll help survive, I guess, the day. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd share that. All right, so I wasn't actually going to show you this because I didn't think it'd be this interesting, but I was just going to tell you, what the difference was. But then I opened the app, and I was surprised. So I already showed you 10 a.m., like 36, 49, so that's like 12, 13 degrees. If I go to 11, things start picking up. 35 degrees outside, 51 in the box, so that's like 16 degrees. Mind you, it's like 1 o'clock now. 12 o'clock. 35 degrees in the box, 35 degrees outside, 65 in the box. So that's like, what's that, 45, 55, 60, 30 degrees difference. And then right now it's 1 o'clock. I'm slightly back. 12:58. 12:58, it's like 80 degrees in the box. So there's actually, I'm kind of surprised. So I'll show you my screen. I'll show you what I'm looking at right now. Okay, yeah, so like I said, I wasn't gonna show you that last part before. I was just gonna come out here and actually plan on taking that block out, because I was figuring that it'd be like, oh, it's still 12 degrees difference. Let me do something to make it more interesting. But you can see, I think it was cloudy earlier, but the sun's The sun's out, the clouds are gone. So I guess, do I want to put my hand on it? Yeah, so that feels not like hot, but it's cold out. Like my hands are cold, and that feels pretty good. So I should probably actually go get my laser. Like actually down here towards the bottom, it's pretty good actually. This feels warm to the touch. So actually I'm gonna go ahead and open it up because then we'll see. Oh, I had some separation right there. Still a little sticky. So I'm gonna take this out. Actually, oh, that's nice. So I'm curious if we'll see. Actually, I don't know. The sun's touching that right now, so I bet that's gonna get even hotter. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it back because. Yeah, I'm gonna put it back. All right, yeah, I put it back because I kind of want to get more results without like directly have the sun touching it. So I'll do an update, I guess, in a little bit, and we'll see where we're at. I might even wait a couple days because, like I said, I want to wait till it gets colder, and I don't want this video to get super long by me checking out here 17 times. So we'll see what I come back with when I start recording again. All right. So I think this is probably gonna about do it. So 208, I got peak temperature, 99 in the box, and then it pretty quickly dropped off after that. I don't know why 2 o'clock it dropped off, but because we didn't have sunset until like 4:51, and dusk was like 5:20 or something like that. So yeah, anyway, but I'm going to actually end the video on this one because it's getting a little long, so I'll make a follow-up with the electronics and how that's acting. But yeah, so I think this pretty much proves it, though, for me, is that as long as the sun's up and I'm generating electricity, I think it should be plenty warm inside the box for the battery to be above 32 and accept a charge. So I think that's good news. So anyway, I hope this is enjoyable, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.